All right, y'all, coming at y'all live from the forest. So today I wanted to make a kind of like an introductory video, or maybe whatever, to how cryptocurrencies, not how they work, but why I think they're important. I'm gonna get right into it. So the last major technological advancement that I think our society had was the internet. That was back in like 1996 or 2000 or something like that. But essentially, it started off with this big dot-com bubble. People were selling websites or whatnot for disgusting amounts of prices, and all these companies who were involved in the internet was booming. Of course, it crashed, and it pretty much led to what the internet is today, which is huge. I mean, obviously, we use the internet every day, every hour, probably for most people, right? So, I don't think it's too far-fetched to say that blockchain is the next huge advancement. Now, I think that if we're talking about blockchain technology, like most people think of cryptocurrency, of course, and that's the main thing. But it's not only the technology, but it's also again that ability to potentially generate that generational wealth, right? I mean, especially for a lot of minority families or people in the minority, I guess you could say, they don't have generational wealth. That's why I do that's why I talk about cryptocurrency so much and whatnot. I mean, at the very least, I think that if you are going to invest in it or be a part of it, you should know how it works. But to me, this is just another chance, essentially, of kind of getting that edge. Whether you be a minority or not, I think it's important. Now, for that reason, most people get into it, and most people think it's a scam too. Because let's say you got in 2017, you rode the wave all the way down. You're probably not feeling too generationally wealthy right now. But that's what I'm saying. So like when I say, like, when I mentioned the dot-com bubble, it's relatable in that sense, right? Where it's like at first people just thought of it as a investment tool or whatnot, and it still was, right? But it was this huge technology that people didn't realize until years later. It's 2020 right now, and where people are kind of leaning off the internet more or less, as you notice. I mean, it's all going towards applications and programs and whatnot. But I did want to say, other than the financial aspect, there's also the actual like what goes behind it, right? So blockchain technology, and let's talk about Bitcoin specifically. It's trustless, so you don't have to trust anyone to know that Bitcoin's going to be running tomorrow. To trust one person, essentially, right? Or a company or whatnot. There's no center point of failure, so that kind of goes back to what I just said, where you don't have to rely, let's say, like, for example, you don't have to rely on YouTube to keep running their servers to see your videos every day or see your favorite content creators' videos every day, right? YouTube, obviously, if they go down, the whole platform's going down, right? Bitcoin is not like that. That's not how that works. I don't want to get into the specifics now. I just want to kind of touch on the points. And the last thing is that it's immutable, right? So when I say immutable, it's almost like think of like the walls of Rome. I mean, like Great Wall of China type stuff. Like, it's essentially one of the hardest things to hack into. I mean, I don't know if I'm going far-fetched here, but compare this to trying to break into Fort Knox. It's next to impossible, essentially, right? And for those three features alone, those three reasons, I think those are like the basic building blocks I think that our society needs today. Especially if we're like kind of looking back at, think about how many websites you signed up on. Think about how many companies have your information right now. Instagram, right? I mean, this video is going to go on Instagram, Facebook, whatnot. Think about all those companies that have that information, right? Technically, we don't think about it when we're signing up for them, but we're trusting them that, hey, like, when I give you my password and I give you my username, you're not going to mishandle it, or, because I mean, for the most part, these companies aren't really evil. They're not going to take your password and read it and start logging into your accounts. But that's not the issue. The issue is that we're trusting them to handle it properly, and most companies that we've seen have not. There's a website where if you type in your email, it'll tell you how many times your information has been compromised. I'll leave it down below, I guess. But the point is that I think society needs a more open and trustless system to operate on, because you can't trust anyone, really. The internet's become the Wild West. I mean, to a certain extent it's good, but to a certain extent not really. So I guess the last thing to kind of touch on is, like, For example, I said all this stuff. How do you get involved? Well, that's where, projects or organizations such as Munchcoin, the one a couple of my cohorts and I are coming up with right now, or even some more of the technical ones, are doing to make sure that it's easy to use and understand. I mean, obviously at the end of the day, people have jobs, people have things that they do, right? I mean, the last thing you care about is how blockchain works or crypto works. You just want to know that you're safe and that it's working for you, right? So as far as I'm concerned, that's what the main goal of certain projects and organizations should be. And that's what I really think, personally, I would love for Munchcoin to be at the end of the day. Kind of give people the ability to use Munchcoin in their cryptocurrency, really, without even realizing that they're using it, right? To have it be so like it doesn't need to be that complicated, essentially, right? For example, the dollar. I just saw a deer. If anyone can explain to me how the dollar works, then I'll give you $1 million. Essentially, I mean, I won't, but you know what I mean? Like, as far as we're concerned, you give someone $1, they take it, you just lost $1, they just gained $1. That's how it works, right? I think for crypto or blockchain to really succeed, and I think it will at some point, there needs to be people to kind of bridge that gap between the very technical side and the easy to understand side. I want to see 80-year-old people using this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it has to be at the end of the day, I think. The last thing I wanted to hit on before I actually ended off was for people who have already been involved in the space and who may have potentially been, a victim of a scam or whatnot. I want you to realize that no matter what space you're in, no matter what market you're in, there are opportunists everywhere, right? I mean, there's marketing scams, there's products that are scams. People get scammed all the time. And it just so happens that people are able to kind of ride that wave of cryptocurrency a lot as well. And because people don't know about it yet, the vast majority of the public doesn't know about it yet, they get involved, and that's kind of their entry point. And as soon as they get scammed, they're off of crypto because they think that company or that scam is crypto, when it's not. I mean, again, there are opportunists everywhere. It's just important to educate yourself before you do get into anything like that. I mean, I've been involved. I think it was like in 2017, I got into like this thing where like it paid off monthly or whatever, and it didn't end up working out. I didn't put too much money into it, but the point is that, I learned from it, right? You don't want to throw your life savings into this stuff, but you do want to understand how it works. So with that being said, don't get turned off by a scam here or there, because again, I mean, you may just be turned off of, again, a really good opportunity at the end of the day, just knowing how crypto works. So I would say with anything you do, whether it be crypto or not, do your research. Due diligence is always a good thing. Reach out to people that you think may know more about it than you do. At the end of the day, there's a whole lot of people talking about this stuff, and most of them are good people, right? At the end of the day, you have that small amount of people, very small amount of people, who just want to do harm. And again, that's everywhere. So I would implore you guys, again, if you are interested in knowing more about it, do some research. Again, reach out to me if you want. But yeah, thanks for watching my video again. I will see you guys in the next one.